He denies murdering her. So what does that plea he entered on Wednesday mean to the trial now in terms of strategy for both sides, really? Let's bring in our guests. We have two great guests on the program this morning. In the studio with me, Eric Johnson II, and joining us remotely, Michael J. Brown. Both of you have a lot of criminal defense experience, and Michael, you've also served as a prosecutor prior to that. So let's look at this from both sides, really what it might mean. Eric, I'd like to start with you, please, on the defense side. By admitting to the after-the-fact crimes, but denying the biggie, what does that say to you about how Adam Montgomery is going to proceed now?
Well, at this particular point, he's probably going to try to shift responsibility to somebody else. By him admitting to his portion of the events, he's basically trying to claim ownership for that and eliminate that from being considered by the jury. So what he's trying to do is mitigate the circumstances behind the murder charge while taking responsibility for the lesser acts.
Right. Blaming Kayla is what I suspect. I think I'm not alone on that one. And that if you're the prosecutor thinking, you know, last night, how do you refute it? How do you change your game plan? Michael J. Brown, do me a favor. Look at this from the prosecutor's point of view. How do you think they may have adjusted strategy after that plea?
Good morning, Julie. You know, what they're gonna have to do is they use this adage all the time, and I think you probably did and I did, which is admit what you can't deny and deny what you can't admit. So the defense, I think it's a good move in the sense that he's going to try to gain credibility by admitting to certain things and saying, hey, I admitted to what I did, but I didn't do these other things. The prosecution then has to come back and say, he admitted what he can't deny because the proof is so overwhelming, but now he's denying what he can't admit to. And they're going to base that on Kayla, and that's going to be somewhat problematic, but that's going to be their counter to what he just did in terms of the plea.
Exactly. Thank you both. I want to show you both a clip from Kayla's testimony previously. We know Adam Montgomery went to trial in the weapons case, convicted, and Kayla gave some testimony about why she lied to the grand jury regarding this homicide investigation. Let's take a look.
How did you come to be there for that proffer?
Because I got subpoenaed to be questioned about Harmony, and I lied to the grand jury because I was scared.
So let me back up. Had you been charged with a crime prior to meeting for that proffer?
Yes.
Prior to meeting for that proffer, you said, I think you had been charged with a crime?
Yes.
Do you remember what you had been charged with?
Welfare fraud.
Anything else?
And 2 counts of receiving stolen property.
And do you remember being charged with perjury as well?
Yes.
Okay, so Kayla is so key here, as we know, because she is the only witness, according to the state, to Harmony's murder. She was in the car. We've got a picture of how they were sitting, according to Kayla. Kayla's in the passenger seat. Adam is driving. Little Harmony's directly behind Kayla. And Kayla gives some testimony saying that Adam is in the driver's seat and in delivering beatings to Kayla by turning his body around and striking her with a closed fist to her head because she's having accidents in the car. The family's living in their car, sadly, at this time. And Kayla tells police that at one point there were so many blows, Adam said something to the effect like, I think I really did something this time. And that was when Harmony Montgomery, we believe, the police believe, is when she expired, or, you know, perhaps expired not long after that. Hard to know because nobody called 911 to help her. So knowing what Kayla is going to offer here, Eric, let me go back to you. From the defense standpoint, I know these defense attorneys, from what Matt Johnson has told me, they are feisty. They want to fight every little thing they did on the weapons case. What might you do to pick apart Kayla's version of events here?
Well, one thing that you'd have to look at, based on her own admission from that testimony, she has lied before. So you want to harp on that fact and point and affect her credibility as it relates to all the individuals in this case. Now, as it relates to the specific things that she laid out in the car, that's only her word. There's no other evidence that can substantiate that. So therefore, I will play on the fact that there's no corroboration for the things that she said and the fact that she may be saying these things because she is in fact guilty.
Right. Eric, thank you for that. Michael J. Brown, give me the prosecutor's side, if you would, please. How might they handle Kayla when it comes time?
Yeah, they're really gonna have to climb back up because she lied under oath in front of a grand jury. She committed perjury. So they have to explain why she did what she did, and I think they did, in the sense that she was troubled, she was scared, she was concerned for her own sake. She has to be somewhat of a sympathetic figure, and then they're going to have to counter that with the extent of the damage to this young child, and what he actually did, and maybe she's incapable of causing that type of damage, and they're going to have to go with that. But again, it's not a slam dunk. It is a difficult case, I think, because it's predominantly based on her testimony.
You're right, Michael. If they don't believe her, the case could fall apart. You know, in the worst way for these prosecutors. Great points from you both. So glad you're here. Michael J. Brown, Eric Johnson II. Stand by if you would, please. Coming up next, here's what we're talking about.
Baldwin, can you provide any comment?
Journalism. It's time for you guys to start being journalists.
Defense wants charges dropped in Delphi. They're claiming the state destroyed key evidence in the case of the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German. Plus, the mother of a man found dead in the woods is joining us in the studio as she tries to get more answers about what happened to her son. Innocent